Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I'm delighted to welcome everybody here to the city ground of the championship side Nottingham Forest Football Club for the final press conference for this Friday's wonderful JD Next Gen boxing card taking place at the Motor Point Arena here in Nottingham, England. Now, it's all being brought to you courtesy of Mr. Eddie Hearn of Matchroom Boxing, sponsored by JD Sports, William Hill, StubHub, Deliveroo. All the action will be broadcast live around the world on Sky Sports and on DAZN in America. Ladies and gentlemen, growing up can be difficult. And when you look different than the people that you grew up around, that can be even harder. As a young biracial man growing up in Chatteris, things weren't always so easy for Jordan Gill. But boxing is a great equalizer. And inside that 18 by 18 or 20 by 20 square foot piece of real estate, it doesn't matter if you're black or white, Muslim or Jewish, Indian or Italian. What matters is what a man or a woman is made of. What's their metal? What beats beneath their chest? What's their skill set? And for anyone that's ever laced up a pair of gloves and stepped through the ropes and had another human being try to take your head off, they can attest that after the final bell, ain't nothing but respect. And through boxing, Jordan Gill has not only garnered respect, but he's quickly becoming a rising star. He's undefeated in 23 professional bouts, headlining his second show within 3 months, and defending his WBA international strap against a very tough opponent, the tough Tijuana Tinoco. So I think that maybe Chatteris should dust off the mantelpiece and make some room next to Davey Boy Green and Eric Boone, because Jordan Gill, his skill set, his work ethic, and his humility, they're impossible to overlook. True grit, true grit. Here to introduce you to Jordan and all the other fine fighters on the card this Friday, the man that put it together, the president of Matchroom Boxing, Mr. Eddie Hearn.
Well, what about that for him? Don't worry about a round of applause for me. What about David Diamante? Another understated, low-key introduction from Mr. Diamante. Thank you, David, and thanks everyone for being here today in Nottingham. Had a very interesting flight home on Sunday from Las Vegas. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win, but I flew home with Carl Froch, and that was painful within itself. 10 hours on the plane with Carl Froch, telling me about how he's going to come back, how the earth is flat, how you must only drink distilled water, how if you don't eat organic meat, you're crazy, and it went on and on and on. But one thing that we'll always remember about this city for boxing is the nights that I shared with him at the end of his career, really. Not overly the Yusuf Mack fight, even though that was the last fight that he had here, but of course the Lucien Butte fight at the Nottingham Arena, which I think no one will ever forget. Over 6 years ago now since we were last in Nottingham, and when I walked out into one of the suites to look at the city ground there, I felt a bit disappointed that we never really got the opportunity to box Carl Froch here, because I think it would have been an incredible moment. And I think the way boxing's progressed since he brought the big shows back to the UK, it would have been a natural thing to do, to come here and box, but at the time it seemed like a big risk, and the industry wasn't really ready for a big outdoor stadium event. And it's really good to be back here, this time with someone else that gives Nottingham a chance of big time boxing in Leigh Wood. I mean, he is the reason that we're here. These JD Next Gen shows give young fighters the opportunity to headline events, to gain the profile, to gain that big championship experience late on in the night in front of full arenas, to gear them up for big championship fights on Saturday night fight nights. And we've got a great card, great night of action, and many of the people involved in Friday's night at Nottingham Arena are here today to talk about their fights and their future. Two professional debuts that we can't wait for. Dalton Smith and Charles Frankham, two of the very best young British amateurs over the last few years. Charles Frankham has more national titles, I think, than his age. Dalton Smith has been a member of the GB elite system for a long time under the tutelage of his dad, who of course has come through and been so pivotal in the growth and development of Charlie Edwards, winning a world title. Grant Smith, who's done a great job with him, and now has a chance to try and guide his son to similar honours. As you know, we're promoting events now all around the world, and we have some incredible US talent as well. Ray Ford from Camden, New Jersey is one of the best US amateurs to turn pro in the recent years. He's already racked up one victory in Philadelphia in his pro debut in March, and he's in Nottingham, very similar to Camden, New Jersey in many ways. And I'm so excited that young fighters like Ray get the chance to come over and experience British Fight Nights, and travelling in different environments, different commissions, different time zones, different arenas. It's all part of moulding them into great championship fighters, and it's very important for their opportunities. Brad Dawes, welcome to the card as well. So important to bring young local prospects through on this show. Sold a lot of tickets, going to get a chance to mix with all these great fighters on Friday night as well. Terry Harper, welcome back to a Matchroom show. I'm very excited about your development, and Steffi Ball's done a brilliant job with you. And amazingly, Steffi, the names that were flying about for potential opponents for this card, world title shots, big domestic fights as well. And you have a tough fight on Friday night. I've looked at your opponent. It's going to be a tough fight for you, and such an exciting time for women's boxing, particularly in the lightweight division. Obviously, you've got, domestically Chantel Cameron, who looks like a great talent as well. Natasha Jonas up at lightweight now, and of course Katie Taylor, who goes for the undisputed world championship in the lightweight division at Madison Square Garden on June the 1st. Fabio Wardley, brilliant to have him back. One of the best young talents in the heavyweight division, managed by Dillian White, which is why I'm keeping him nice and active, because he puts the fear of Christ up me every time he tells me Fabio's got to be on the card. And I think Fabio now is on the verge of all those very, very good young emerging domestic heavyweights. Joe Joyce, Nathan Gorman, Daniel Dubois. I think Fabio is 2 or 3 wins away from being ready for those guys as well, and he's a great talent. On the top table, obviously we've talked about Dalton, but the two, they can battle it out between themselves for main event and co-main event, if you like. Leigh Wood, obviously we talked about earlier, the reason we're here, to be honest with you. We've been looking for an excuse to come back to Nottingham for a long time, and Leigh Wood's always had a huge amount of support from this city, travelling around, boxing on our shows in Sheffield. Now he gets a chance to fight here in a great fight against Ryan Doyle. Ryan Doyle has boxed on so many Matchroom shows, and every time he has given us a brilliant fight, brilliant performance. We put him in with Reece Bellotti last year, and Reece Bellotti was supposed to beat Ryan Doyle, go through and challenge for the British title. Ryan Doyle knocked him out in a brilliant performance. Went on to fight Jordan Gill, lost there in a great fight, and now he gets a chance to win his old belt back, the Commonwealth featherweight title, in a really good domestic fight, Nottingham against Manchester. And as David said, Jordan Gill, who's really been a revelation, not just for Dave Coldwell, I think, but for British boxing in the last 12 months. Had so much potential over the years. I think was going a little bit stale. So many fights that just weren't really emerging him through and getting him up for it. Comes through, wins the Commonwealth title, headlines in Peterborough, wins the WBA international title, and now has a really good fight against ENRIQUE TINOCO, who we saw go the full distance with Devin Haney recently up at lightweight. He's got a great chin, great work rate, and great to see Paco Damian here as well. So much work together recently with Humberto Sota in the States, and I know that he brings his fighters every time to try and win. So we're going to hear from the guys in the top table shortly. We're going to start off. Let's start with you, Raymond Ford. Grab a mic there, my friend. Welcome to the UK. This is a big opportunity for you. I know you're very pleased to be here. You must be excited ahead of your second fight on Friday night.
Yes, thank you, Eddie. I'm definitely grateful to come over here and perform for you guys in the UK. My pro debut was over there in Philly, basically my hometown, and I had fun doing it. I'm trying to make this performance a whole lot better than my first performance, and I just want to give thanks to God, because without him none of this would be possible. I want to give thanks to my team, my mom, Coach Reg, Miss Kelly, Coach Rel, my uncle, a bunch of people that's behind me that I need in my camp for me to be here. So I'm thankful, and I'm just ready to put on a great show for you guys. Thank you.
Obviously, boxing out of America is a huge country, it's a huge market, but all of you guys watch British boxing, see the crowds, see the huge events, and so many of your teammates, obviously some of us as well, all want to come over here and fight on British soil. That's a question.
Wait, can you repeat that?
Yeah. All of you guys, you come over, you see British boxing, and you all want to come over here and fight on British soil.
Yes, we know there's a big fan base over here. Boxing over here is like football, like the NFL football over there in the US. So a lot of guys from the US definitely want to come over to the UK and fight.
Thank you, Ray. Looking forward to seeing your second fight.
Thank you.
On Friday night. Brad, a big opportunity for you. I know you've been boxing frequently, undefeated, but now a big arena show on Friday night and a lot of local support as well.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to fighting on this show. I've been watching you Wood since I was a kid, and it's a massive honour to be on this undercard. I'm nervous. That's it, really. Thank you.
Obviously, you've seen boxing not be too dominant in Nottingham over the years, but hopefully this card with Leigh, if he can get a big win against Randall and yourself, more to come in this city.
Yeah, it's a massive undercard to be on. I used to come watch Frock training when I was a kid. I'm really looking forward to it.
Terry, defending your title on Friday night, a great win at Sheffield Arena and another great win recently in a great fight. Starting to establish yourself now as a major player in the division.
Yeah, I think I'm showing what I'm here to do. It's not to be playing around, it's to be winning them world titles, as cheesy as it sounds. Coming off a big strong win against Nina Bradley back in March for the WBC International title, I experienced my first 10 rounds. I came out successful, and then going again Friday against Claudia Lopez, a tough opponent. So I'm going to take what I learned back in March into the ring with me Friday and hopefully come away successful once again. We
seem to see a lot of fluctuation in weight classes with the women. Obviously, Amanda Serrano, I think, won 7 World Championship different weight classes. And when I was talking to Steffi, he was talking about even taking fights at light welter. Obviously, this one at lightweight, and the ability to go to super feather as well. Do you feel that lightweight is your weight class, or will you be looking to move down to super feather as well?
I do feel lightweight is mine, but while I'm young and I can make super feather, I don't see why not going down weight, winning titles there, and then looking at coming up to lightweight when I've learned my trade a bit more.
Finally, a great weight division, obviously. I mean, Chantel Cameron looked good as well. It's a big fight for you down the line. And just over 3 weeks' time today, Katie Taylor takes on Delphine Pearsoon for the undisputed fight. It's a massive profile fight for your weight class.
Yes, definitely. They're making movements for women's boxing. Yeah, it's going to be a good fight for Katie. Yeah.
Good. Well, we hope that you and Katie get the victory in your upcoming fights. Fabio, welcome. After the injury sustained to Alexander Usyk, I'm glad that it wasn't you that did it, because I know you've been out sparring with him. And again, a good fight for you on Friday night. It's a very tough challenger who's gone the distance with a lot of good heavyweights, and really the final stages now of your education, if you like, before you move into big championship fights.
Yeah, 100%. The opponent I've got on Friday is a good, tough, durable guy. That's what me and my team have been looking for. We're looking for someone who's going to come and challenge me. My first few fights on Matchroom Bills, obviously first time at the O2, and then second time they were good fights. They were good announcement fights. Good to show off a small portion of my skill set that yes, I've got heavy hands, I can get people out early, or I can put combinations together and things, but now I want that test. I want someone who's going to stand in front of me and I'm going to hit them hard and they're still going to keep coming. I want that. I need that kind of, that testing. I need those answers. I need those questions kind of answered in myself that I can keep pushing through those rounds. So that's what I'm looking forward to, really. I'm just looking forward to a good fight. I've literally, at the base of it, having a good tear up with this person.
Obviously, talking about that sparring, you was out in Kiev with Alexander Usyk, undisputed cruiserweight world champion, moving up to heavyweight. Unfortunately, found out a couple of days ago that he was injured for that fight, but will return in August. Talk us through that experience for you and sharing ring time with a fighter like that.
Yeah, second time being out there over in Ukraine with Usyk and his team. I went over there first time over in October of last year, so going out there second time around, it was cool. It was just as good. Like him and his whole team are very nice. They're all engaging. They wanna look after you and make sure you're settled in. But past all that, the sparring is the type of level that I'm not really going to get much elsewhere. It's so that you have to be switched on 24/7, especially of how technically sound he is and just how much of a thinker he is while he's in the ring. And then with all that on top, he's southpaw, so everything's backwards. So you just have to stay switched on 24/7. And then there's so many pieces I can take from his camp, the little bits that, because I've been there a few times now and I'm comfortable with him and his team, I can speak to them about why they train certain ways, why they do certain things, and it's all knowledge and information I can bring back, take home and use for my own camps.
And talking about the British heavyweight scene, I mean, it's absolutely red hot at the moment. You know, you've got the guys at the top end, obviously Anthony Joshua, Dillian Whyte, Tyson Fury, and then probably the 2 or 3 just beneath that in Chisora, in Dave Allen, in David Price, and then you've got the young guns coming through, Dubois, Gorman, Joyce as well, and I put you in that category as well. I really am excited because obviously those 3 are on the other side of the pond, so I need someone who can go in and beat those guys, and I think you might be that guy. So I want you to come out as fast as possible, but it's such an exciting opportunity for you. Looking at this division probably 2 years ago, for a domestic heavyweight, it was really the old guard was all that was left. And so many big arena fights for you coming through over the next few years. You must be excited about what's in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm buzzing. Like it's a fantastic time as one to just be in boxing and be a part of it, but as 2 to be a part of the heavyweight division. That there's so much going on from top to bottom. And like you say, there's a lot of younger guys coming through who, at the moment, probably are a couple of steps ahead of me, just because they've had them few extra fights, they've had that extra ABA background, that amateur background. So, as a whole, they've all got a bit more experience than me, but I'm willing to learn and I'm keen to push myself and see what I can get out of this. So, I'm hot on their heels and I'm chasing them down, and I'm looking forward to the next couple of years in this sport and having some big dust-ups with some big names.
We look forward to see you on Friday night. Charlie Frankham, long-awaited pro debut. It was supposed to happen a couple of months ago, but now it's here. And big opportunity for you to make your debut on Friday. Massive amateur pedigree. Obviously a fighting family as well. Ready to go.
Yeah, I can't wait for my debut now. Obviously I had a little issue with my boxing licence, but long hard camp, ready to put on a show now Friday night.
You've done it all really as an amateur. I mean, so many national titles and big wins around the world. Beat one of our US guys, Ofer Jones, as well, which I'll tease him about as well. But this is a big opportunity for you, and I know your sights are really only focused on winning the major domestic titles and moving on to world championship level. And a great gym as well in Tony Sims's gym. Big win for John Ryder at the weekend. All the guys are really buzzing in there right now.
Yeah, great win for John Ryder the weekend. He looked unbelievable, and the gym is buzzing at the minute. So we're all thriving off each other. So it's a great gym to be in, and just ready for Friday now.
Look forward to seeing you in your first pro fight on Friday. Also making his debut, Dawn Smith. Dawn, well done. You're here, ready to go, no injuries. I'm sure you've had a great camp with your dad, and I see you doing your own countdown on your social media. I think you did it from about 60 days. We're down to a couple now. You must be excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for my debut. You know, it's finally here now. Like I say, it was a long process turning over. having a training camp, but you know that's all done now. I can concentrate on what I'm here to actually do, and that's fight on Friday. So you know I'm very excited for it.
It's crazy, isn't it, when you're an amateur fighter? I think everyone gets so engrossed in that system and qualifying and this and that. And as soon as you turn pro, it's all kind of irrelevant, really. You know, we talk about your achievements as an amateur, which were incredible, obviously Charlie's and Ray's as well. It means nothing, really, in the pro game. It's a different sport. Obviously, what you have learned and the skills that you've learned over the years and the preparation you've done in the GB squad will stand you in good stead. But a whole new challenge for you now.
Yeah, whole new challenge. But like you said, with the Olympic qualifications and stuff, you put so much into it, so you know it becomes a big part of your life. But like you said, once you turn professional, that's all in the past, and you know you kind of forget about that, and it's just about focusing ahead and thinking what's in the future.
Good support for you on Friday. A lot coming up from Sheffield, looking to make a mark, not just in Nottingham, but obviously being the new wave of fighters coming through from Sheffield and looking to stay nice and busy as well. Hopefully get the win in style on Friday and then move forward and just keep being active all around the country, and hopefully a US fight for you as well at some point.
That's it. Yeah, I've got a good fan base coming up, and like I say, it's just about staying active, just like I was in the amateurs. Like if you're active, like that's where you learn your trade more. So as long as I stay active and I'm fighting regular, then you know I can see myself propelling a lot faster than if I weren't so active.
Forward to seeing you in your debut on Friday night. We're going to talk about Jordan Gill against Tinoco first, as we're in Nottingham. I think we'll leave till the end. We're going to bring in Dave Caldwell, who obviously has had a wonderful few years, not just with Gavin McDonald and Jamie McDonald, but of course the incredible run of Tony Bellew, and now Jordan Gill as well, who's emerging as a real hot talent in British boxing. Dave, welcome back from Vegas as well yourself. And another important fight in the journey for Jordan on Friday.
Yeah, it's very important. I think the key for Jordan at this stage of his career is to get the right fights for his development. I'm not in any rush, particularly to launch him into world level, elite world level. Although he's had 23 fights, the first 16 of those were just marking time fights against guys that are coming just to survive and not trying to win. Since we took on Jason Cunningham, every opponent from then has been a test for him and has been a step up for him, and has been an opponent that I can gauge his development, and the things that we work on in the gym, the things that he's performing. And that's the key about Jordan Gill. He's somebody that you can work on, you can try things, you can add things to his game. We talk a lot about what he's comfortable with, what things work, and then he'll go out there and he'll do it in sparring. And then, whereas a lot of fighters will do things in sparring but then not be able to do it on fight night, he's going out there and doing things on fight night. This fight here with Tinoco, Devin Haney's seen as one of the world's biggest prospects, a future star, which is why you grabbed him. Tinoco gave him a good fight, and I believe that was on a short notice. Stepped in, and Haney's a big puncher at lightweight. He showed how tough he is. So I've got nothing but massive respect for Tinoco, and I know that this is a threat and this is a dangerous fight for him. But if Jordan's as good as what I believe he's going to be, and as what you're hoping he's going to be, then these are the kind of fights that are going to develop him. It's not a case about going in there and getting a stoppage. It's a case of going in there and doing what I need him to do and what he needs to do for his development as we move on.
Were you surprised how quickly you got Dominguez out of there? Great performance in Peterborough. And do you expect Tinoco to be staying around a lot longer in this fight than Dominguez was?
I expected Dominguez to be a late stoppage. I thought we'd get the stoppage, but I thought it'd be late. I was thinking about 8, 9, 10. And I thought we would have rough moments. I would thought because there's nothing wrong in a young fighter having rough moments, having moments where things are uncomfortable. The problem is when every round of the career it's comfortable. They don't have any questions asked for them, and then they go through the rankings getting higher and higher, and they get at this top level where then they're in deep waters, and then when the first time that they start having problems in rounds, they start having doubts in their mind, and they don't know how to adjust. So I need them kind of fights. I'm expecting that on Friday. I'm expecting rounds where he things might not be coming off, his shots aren't landing, or maybe he's getting caught with a few shots, maybe he gets backed up a little bit. But these are the kind of things that we work on in the gym, and the kind of things that we work on in sparring, that I know that he's capable of overcoming, and that is about adding to his game for when we do step up into world class, true world class.
Paco presents. Good to see you here. And again, all your fighters always come for war and come to fight. What do you expect on Friday night from Tinoco, and looking forward to a good challenge?
Thank you, Eddie. Good afternoon. Thank you all for being here. We are pleased to be here in the UK. We know that it's a tremendous town here of a lot of boxing fans. And from Tinoco, he's always been in the B-side, like we call it. Many times he has been here. He's very comfortable. And like Eddie said, most of the fights that I have are just the typical Mexican fighters, including Tinoco, that they come to fight and they live all in the ring. And Friday night is not going to be an exception. He knows that it's a great opportunity for him. He had a great training camp. He feels comfortable. And he usually doesn't say anything. While we were waiting at the lobby, he said to me, I have a request. So I said, what kind of request do you have? He says, if there is an opportunity, can you tell Mr. Jordan Gill, let's give the fans a tremendous fight. Let's don't run, let's don't box, let's just give the fans like a fight like the Mexican style. Let's stand there and trade punches, and let's put a great fight for the fans. So we hope they can do that.
Good. I hope so as well. I know everyone in this room does as well. Can you ask Enrique how he's feeling ahead of the fight on Friday and his expectations of the fight?
¿Cómo te sientes ahorita y cuáles son tus expectaciones para la pelea mañana, del viernes?
Hola, buenas tardes. Por esta pelea, pues la verdad yo me siento muy bien preparado. Yo creo que como me siento sumamente muy fuerte, yo creo que estoy en un momento muy bueno para aprovechar esta oportunidad que la empresa me está brindando.
Good afternoon. Thank you for this great opportunity, and to Mushroom Boxing for this great opportunity. I feel very comfortable, very strong. Had a tremendous camp. I had a little bit more time than usual. A lot of times they call me for a 2-week notice, sometimes even less. And I always take fights even though it's not on my way. So I feel very, very strong, very comfortable.
Tell us about that Haney fight, obviously up short notice, at a much higher weight, feeling much stronger at featherweight.
¿Qué puedes decir de la pelea de David Haynes? Te dieron un poquito tiempo para prepararte, y también pues era en un peso mucho superior que el tuyo, y un peleador mucho más fuerte que tú. ¿Cómo te sentiste y qué piensas de eso?
Esa fue una pelea, fue una gran pelea, fue una pelea, un rival muy importante, muy astuto. No le quito méritos, pero sí fue una pelea. No pongo excusas, pero fue poco tiempo para esa pelea. Fue una división que no debería haberla peleado, pero fue gran experiencia.
It says it was a great experience for me. It was a fight, no excuses. I lost the fight. He's a tremendous athlete, as you all know. He's one of the best right now. Very clever in a division that I wasn't even close with a week notice. And I just went there and I just did my best.
Good. Well, we wish you all the best for Friday night. I know you will bring a great fight to Jordan Gill. Jordan, you're gonna stand there. Mexican War. You ready? You ready for that? You up for that on Friday night?
That's what he wants, that's what he's going to get. But Dave just leant over and said that if I do that, he's going to kill me. So I might have 2 fights on my hands on Friday night. But, whatever's in front of me, I'll deal with it. And I'm looking forward to a good fight. I'm sure he'll come and bring it, and so will I. And no matter what, whether we have a Mexican War for 12 rounds or a boxing move, or if I run around the ring like a chicken, everybody's going to be leaving that arena entertained.
I think people were surprised how easily Dominguez folded. I mean, you made him fold, but expected that fight to go deeper. Do you want rounds on Friday? Is that what you want? You want that tough fight. We're talking about, Kiko Martinez. We're talking about big European level fights, world title eliminators. these are the kind of fights.
Definitely, I think this is why we've chosen such a tough opponent. Why Dave's chosen a tough opponent. I need them rounds. I need them rounds in the bank, and I need to be put under pressure. I need all these different experiences in the ring, and I'm sure on Friday night, Tinoco's going to ask a lot of questions of me, and we've trained hard, and it's been an intense training camp, a short one, and I'm glad to be here and back out again so quickly, building momentum, and in another great learning fight.
Obviously a great division domestically and worldwide for you as well. But how far away do you feel you are from those guys, Warrington, obviously fighting Galahad and Frampton and those kind of fights? Obviously you got to get through Friday, but really probably 2020 you'll be gunning for all those guys.
100%, I'll be ready 2020, if not sooner. As quick as you want to move me, I'm here to fight.
And obviously you and your pal headlining here.
I'll let him have this one.
Yeah.
I'm on Leigh's undercard, and I'm happy to be here on Leigh's undercard, and I'm looking forward to a great night of boxing, and obviously Leigh in a big fight as well.
We're not doing that rock, paper, scissors thing.
No rock, paper, scissors today.
Thanks, Jordan. Look forward to Gill against Tinoco, WBA international title. Ryan Doyle, welcome back. You've had some great fights on our shows, and again, you're one of those fighters where Steve Wood said to me, you know, any opportunities for Ryan Doyle at championship fights, let me know. I said Leigh Wood for the Commonwealth title, and it was just a straight yes. So, you know, looking to try and capture your old belt back on Friday night.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like I belong at this level now. You know, I've shown it. I've had some great nights. Obviously, being Reece Pilotti, and I've had the worst night of my life fighting Jordan Gill. But you know, I believe I belong at this level, and it's where I want to stay.
You got a lot more championship experience than Leigh Wood. Obviously, changed for the British title before, but you've been nice and active in those championship fights. Do you think that experience will play a part on Friday?
Yeah, definitely. He should do. He should get a little bit more experience. I've been a little bit more active in him, but you know, I can't take that away from Leigh. You know, he's a good fighter. He's been around the game the same length of time as myself. Just not had the opportunities. But you know, come Friday, I'm sure he'll bring the best, and I will. And you know, the best man will win. We'll go from there.
That performance against Pilotti was really good. I mean, I didn't expect you to win that fight. Thought you'd come in and give a great performance, but you won every round and then went on and stopped him as well. Are you feeling in the same kind of form that you had in going into that Pilotti fight?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, I've had a great training camp. Everything's gone well. I've done some small adjustments, what I need to do, what put me in good stead for this one. Like I said, everyone's ripped me off for the Pilotti camp. Everyone threw away for me for that, and you know, I trained hard for it and got the win. And you know, I'm in a similar position now where I think people are writing me off again, but you know, every time I turn up, I give an exciting fight, and that's what I'm in the business for.
Well, we know you'll do that on Friday. Leigh, headlining or co-main eventing, whatever we're going to call it, Nottingham Arena, big moment for you. Obviously, you sold a huge amount of tickets. You can have massive support in the arena on Friday night, and this could be a real breakout night for your career.
Exciting, so excited. Can't wait all the way from Gedling. Honestly, I have to keep calming myself down a bit, get excited too early, but I know I'm in a hard fight. But no one's seen the best of me. I've not even been tested at featherweight. I know I'm getting a bit of stick saying, oh, he's not even done 12 rounds yet, which I am, but there's a reason I'm not done 12 rounds yet, because I'm punched like full. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, no, does anyone think I'm going to get licked? Anyone here? Put your hand up. Put your hand up. Apart from the fella from Manchester, anyone else? No. I'm in a good place mentally, physically. I never had this momentum. Fight by fight. It's been fight, then injury, and then issues, not getting fights in the gym all the time. So it's paying off all the hard work I'm putting into the gym, pouring my heart into it. I'm getting the fights to show what I can do as well. And that's the first time in my career it's happened. So I want to come out on Friday and light up the arena. I want everyone to have a good night, and I want to bring more of these shows back to Nottingham.
Do you feel that pressure? You say how excited you are. Is that something you've got to try and keep under wraps? Because Ryan's always been, he came down to London, as the B-side really, beat Reece Bellotti, went to London again to fight Jordan, he's coming to Nottingham to fight you. He can just do his thing, use his experience. But for you, there is a lot of pressure. There are people coming to see you win. It is a massive opportunity for your career. Is it important to just stay calm and just try and do what you know you can do without becoming too excited ahead of Friday?
Yeah, I'm not a young kid. I mean, I've got experience in the game. I'm not going to come out and throw bombs and please the crowd. But I'm coming to please the crowd, but I'm going to be sensible and be smart and educated performance. It's going to be a career best performance, no doubt, for myself. But yeah, I mean, there's no pressure on you. When you're away from home and you're fighting, there's no pressure on you. He's going to come give it his best, and if you fall short, you fall short. But it depends how you look at it. I mean, he is established at this level, but I want to get way past this level. And on Friday, I'm going to prove it as well. I'm going to come out and I'm going to box out my skin. It's going to be special.
Obviously, we've been looking for an excuse to come to Nottingham for a long time. I'm sure you were there for the Boutte fight. If you weren't, just pretend you were.
I was supposed to box on it.
Were you?
Yeah, can you not remember?
Were you floating?
Paul Frampton's terrible. He didn't stop that kid. I was gloved
Oh, you were
up.
floating? I remember getting a lot of stick that night actually, that you never got out there. But
I did a lot of money in tickets.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
But obviously, we'll forget about that. But
Let me tell you a story.
I'm only up to you though, come on.
Oh yeah, we're getting there. This ground where we're at, in summer next year maybe. But no, that Frotch fight, I didn't box, and I went out for a bit, and I was coming past McDonald's on my way home. I pulled in, I tried the door, it was closed. I got a tap on the window. It's Frotch there with his missus and a few other people, and said, "I'll let him in." So I had breakfast with him. It was quite a good, special night, and that night, my career aside, that was a good night of boxing. That it was.
He's always said to me for a long time. He's always asked me to give you opportunities, and he's been a believer in you as well. You know the family well. They support you. Everyone supports their own around here. But this city has been crying out for a long time for someone that's capable of being in big championship fights. And I just feel that we have a strong crowd there on Friday. Long way to go before we're filling up this arena. But I do feel that in this city, if you have the ability to do it and you can be in major fights, they will 100% get behind you.
They love a good scrap in Nottingham. They love it, and yeah, it's important. I knew there's a lot of pressure on the fight, but for me, I need to perform. I need to give the people of Nottingham a good night, and it's important for all the talent coming through that these shows are there for them. Because me coming through, luckily I got on the Frotch bills, and it was great for my profile. And young Brad down here, he's a bit nervous. First one, I was nervous on my first one as well, but he's a good kid coming through, and somewhere right at the back there, got an English champion. Echo, put your hand up, mate. English champion over there. So we've got a lot of talent in Nottingham, and we want to keep coming back and building these shows. And you never know. One better than Frotch and get to the city ground.
Man, I'd love to do it. Well, it's a great card on Friday. So much great young talent, British and American talent as well, and some big championship fights as well. And a very important night for the city of Nottingham to see if we can kickstart big nights of boxing back here. So thank you for coming. We're going to have a couple of head-to-head pictures up here. Everyone's available for the media one-on-ones, and we'll see you for the weigh-in tomorrow. And don't forget to spread the word ahead of the return to Nottingham Arena on Friday night. Thanks for coming. Thank you.